Let's make a glove. Well, it's kind of a glove. We'll learn from this. Welcome back to CJ's Knits. Today on CJ's Knits, we are going to knit a glove without using a garter carriage. We're going to do it the good old-fashioned way. I'm going to load up some waste yarn on 40 left, 40 right. And then I'm going to do an E-wrap cast on, knit a couple rows, and then we'll switch to the ribber. Alright, my E-wrap is done. My carriage is on tension 5, normal knitting. I'm going to knit one row, and then I'm going to transfer stitches using my double-eye transfer tool. Okay. I'm going to use my ribber for this going forward. So switch out my connecting arm. Ribber is attached. I'm going to use tension 3 going forward. Lining that up. Move up my ribber. All right, one by one ribbing, transferring, pull down, make sure when you're all done this part that you push all the needles that you're not working with into non-working position. That way you don't accidentally knit in the wrong spot. Almost there. Okay. Load the yarn into my ribber. Transfer the last stitch. Okay. Now, make sure that everybody who needs to be back is back. Now we need the ribber comb. The best way to insert a ribber comb is with your ribber down one notch. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of interference with the cast-on comb on there. That's okay. It's not that hard. You're at zeros. Okay. wire back in. All right. Gentle. Push back up. You see a couple that didn't decide to go. That's okay. Just watch. Gentle. All right. Everybody's good. Probably wouldn't hurt to put 2 large ones on there. Space is going to be pretty tight. Your cast on comb can and will cause issues. Okay. Cast on comb is in. You are not in half pitch. Ribber's on the ribber. Main bed's on the main bed. Everybody's pushed back. Tension 3, normal knitting. Make sure your ribber is into normal knitting. You are not doing any circular. Nothing's in part, nothing's in tuck. You are just going to knit across until you get to row 30. Here we go. Make sure that last stitch knits off. All right, now we're going to transfer the needles back onto the main bed. Main bed tension goes to 5, and we're going to lower the ribber and remove the extra weight. We can even remove the ribber comb. We won't need it going forward. If you have elastomeric or elastic thread, you could have hand fed that in as you were knitting. And then that would make a more stable ribbing. I'll come back when this part is done. Okay, lower my ribber. Removing the ribber weights because we don't need them now. We can even remove the ribber comb just like I was saying. You won't need it now. It's just something else to take off later. Okay. There's no reason to be overly complicated today. Put it in the carriage, lock it in. Tension goes up to 5. We're going to knit 1 row across after we reset the row counter to 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0. Knitting 1 row across, tension 5. Now we are going to increase each side by 1 for the thumb gusset. Now, one of the big things about doing this kind of maneuver is that you need to make sure that you seal up your holes. So I grab the pearl bump, put it on the next one, going from the inside out. Gently. Oop. Okay, pearl bump. Transfer. Okay, at row 4, I'm going to repeat the transfer. From here on in, every 4th row, I will increase by 1. If I've done this right, at row 36, I will have 50 left, 50 right, and then I will cast off. If you feel that this is getting too loose, then put a claw weight on either side, which, you know what, I'm just going to do that for spite right now. I'm going to put a claw weight on the bottom of the cast on cone. So 1 at 20 and 1 at 20. And that should actually be all I need. So now we're going to knit 4 rows and rinse and repeat. This is going to get pretty boring, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up to row 36, do my last increase, and then we'll come back. All right, last 4 rows. Increase. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Got it. If you have a pick tool, they're handy. Okay, so that's the last increase. We're at 50 and 50. 4 rows makes it 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm now going to cast off 10 stitches on this side, knit across, 10 stitches on this side, using the high vis red. Because I want these stitches to be hidden in the thumb, that is why I'm not using the latch tool cast off directly with the white. That is why I'm taking them off on waste yarn first, and then doing the stitching off. If you manually knit them, you won't have as many issues. Okay, pulling it forward. I'm going to put on a claw weight on, just to keep it down. Okay. Moving it forward and forward. Same maneuver. snip it. Latch tool, bring them forward, remove the claw weight. You can put the claw weight on the other side, that way you won't forget to move it. Now you're just going to latch tool these off. So there's the first one, second, and so on. Once you have that last one, take both of your yarn tails, knit them through, put that down in behind, take a simple clothespin, and that's as much weight as you need. Okay, that's down there. Moving my camera. Here we go. Knit one row across. Repeat what we just did. I'm going to latch tool again. Here we go. Be careful that you don't accidentally pull the not knit stitches off of the needles, because you don't want to lose what you've already done. Pull it through. See, that's just what I didn't want to do. Okay, through. All right. Grabbing both, knitting them through. Now, taking that claw weight off, because that's way too much weight. Just using a simple clothespin. That's all the weight you need. Move those 10 back. Now I'm going to knit to row 60. And then I'm going to mark every 10th stitch on both sides as well as center, and those will be the fingers. I'll come back when I'm at row 60. Okay, row 60. Really easy. We are now going to cut our main yarn. Put that down to the side. We now need to do our marking of our stitches. Yes, I have high vis or highly visual red, but I need to see these stitches on the other side. So I'm going to take yellow. I'm just going to make myself some yarn markers here. They don't need to be very big. Double eye transfer tool. Thread the double eye with my alternate color of yarn. I need to mark 0. Actual 0. I'm marking actual 0, pulling it through, and then tying it off. Now an alternate way to mark these stitches at 10, 20, 30 would be to make a loop, hang it on, and then when I knit the waste yarn, I could hang on there. When I knit the waste yarn, there would be loops on there, kind of like how I do a tension swatch, but I want to be able to easily remove these. So there's that one. That's 10. $20. 30. And I'm going to repeat with 10, 20, and 30. 10, 20, 30. I'm now going to tie these off, and then we'll put the high vis red back on, and we will knit 10 rows of waste yarn, and then we will cast that off, and then we will move on to fingers. I'm going to make a separate video for fingers. I'm going to do them 2 ways, circular and flat. So stay tuned for that one. I'm going to pause this while I tie these knots. Okay, knots are knotted. Now it's time to do the waste yarn. Going to go tension 10 with the waste yarn. You could also do ravel cord at this point if you really wanted to. Making sure all of my knots are down. If you're having problems getting your knots to behave themselves, you can always put clips on them. Kind of like what I have to do right now. Clip those. Okay, here we go. Everybody's down. Okay, going down to tension 5. Working in a couple rows. That should be enough here. I'm now going to latch tool this off, and then we'll take a look at it. Oops, camera died. Here's the result. We're going to do the fingers next. So come back for video number 2.